Hey, I'm Dean and this is Legacy Voyage. In Season 1, I'm documenting my journey to earning my first 100K net worth as a full-time college student. Join me as I share some of the lessons I learned along the way.
I haven't been on a good road trip in ages, actually. When I was younger, we always used to do it all the time, like literally 20-hour road trips from Oregon down to Cali. And technically, I guess they're touching each other, but I'm talking about like Portland, Oregon, Northern Oregon, all the way down to SoCal. And it took a while. Those type of road trips. That's all we did as a kid. But then we got flying benefits and we started flying everywhere, living the airline life. And eventually, road trips were just a thing of the past. So I never really did them until this one day where we decided to go on this road trip. And I'm in Cali at the time, me and my dad, and we decided to go to Arizona. I think it was like Phoenix or something, but we go there for some type of conference. So before we hit the road, of course, there's a couple things that you always do before you hit the road. You gotta stop by a gas station and grab a whole bunch of snacks. You gotta stop by a food place, eat some food at a restaurant, and then you hit the road. So we do those things, check them off the bucket list. But before we do any of that stuff, we go and check out a rental from the rental place because all the cars, they were kind of old and rusty, and we didn't want the risk of driving some old rusty car and then breaking down in the middle of the road trip. So we go out, grab a rental, and as I'm pulling off, we grab this rental. I'm pulling off of the driveway. I noticed something kind of weird about the rental. I was looking down at the fuel gauge, and for some reason, it was on empty. I was like, what the heck? That's so weird. I asked my dad about it. He was like, oh, I don't know. I guess it's just broken or something because there's fuel in the car. At least that's what he was told, because when he checked it out, he actually kind of got into a little fight with the rental people, talking about, you got to get insurance. And then he was like, no, I don't want insurance. And then there were those pushy salesmen who really want to put you on something. But either way, he calls the rental place and he's like, well, a fuel thing, something messed up with it. And they assure him, you're like, oh, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. So it's supposed to take us all the way. And so after that, definitely nothing to worry about there. So we go ahead and do the pre-road trip activities. I'm talking about the gas station stop, grabbing the snacks, the food stop at a restaurant, Hawaiian barbecue, of course, best food on the planet. And then we're off to the races. So I'm driving, it's chill, playing the podcast or audiobook or whatever I have on the radio. An hour passes, no biggie. 2 hours passes, no biggie. And as I'm driving, for some reason, it starts to slow down on its own. I'm like, what the heck is happening? What is going on here? It slows down. And eventually I'm like, okay, something's not right. So I veer off to the side of the road. Then I notice that the fuel gauge, the little light for the gas station symbol, it turns on. I'm like, oh my goodness, don't tell me. And it turns out we ran out of gas. So there we broke down. Let me remind you, this is the middle of the summer, middle of the day in Arizona. So it's burning hot outside. AC is off. We're stuck on the side of the road. And I'm like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? It probably would have been smart to get gas. Oh, that reminds me. We actually didn't even do the gas station stop. We were going to, but instead of that, we did the restaurant stop and then decided we'll just get gas on the way. So that was the reason that the tank wasn't even full. But now we're here stuck in the side of the road, burning hot weather, trying to call support, and low-key freaking out because my phone's about to die. So it's to the point where we're like, okay, what do we do? And in that moment, I was sitting there, I remember this vividly, sitting there in the car at the steering wheel, and for some reason, I was calm. I wasn't angry, I wasn't mad or nothing. I was just calm. I was happy and content with the situation. Because of course it was an inconvenience. It added a couple 30 to an hour to the trip, and it was burning hot. But I learned to enjoy the journey because in that time where we stopped, had quality conversations with my dad. On the way there, learned a bunch from the audiobooks, had quality conversations with my dad. And so finally support comes, or whatever the roadside assistance is, gives us some gas. We make it to the gas station, grab our stuff. And as we're driving off, me and my dad are the entire way back just laughing about how we broke down the side of the road, call our family and stuff. But eventually we make it there. The trip was good. Meet some cool people, as always. But the big lesson from that is enjoying the journey. And I've been trying to think through this analogy where you kind of put yourself in the position of the vehicle. Let's say you are the vehicle and this road trip ahead of you is life and the destination is death, wherever you end up in life. And you're on this road trip trying to figure out how you get there. Which way do you go? And I think the signposts along the way or the GPS that's telling you where to go, that's accountability. It's the goals that give you direction or the New Year's resolutions that point you where you want to be in the future towards your dream identity, the person you want to become. And the thing that's keeping you going towards that is the engine or the motivation of why you're doing what you're doing. And along the way, there are gonna be some times where things don't go the way you want them to go, some inconveniences. But I think what's really cool is that regardless of those inconveniences, there's still a way to be calm and enjoy what you're going through, at least for me. And of course, there's some huge outliers, but that's kind of how I've been thinking about things lately, is enjoying the journey, and the destination at the very end that I'm trying to get after is my dream identity, the future being that I want to become, because I think that's really, really powerful. But as always, just me writing my open notebook to the world, philosophizing about life. Down the road, I'm sure I'll change my mind on a couple things, but overall, that's where I find myself. And now for the life updates. In terms of my health, low key, I think kind of feels like this is going to be my Rocky cutscene. That's kind of what I've been telling some people. I'm coming into this school year, this quarter, and this 2020, the best I've ever been ever in terms of mental, physical, and spiritual. And so I'm just so ready to get after it. Really looking forward to whatever life has in store for me. And along the way, just playing the game with relationships, kind of in that same vein, because I think I'm in the best spot that I've ever been in my life. Now I have that time to put back into my relationships with everyone, my family, romantic relationships, and everyone else. So I'm really happy that I can be in this place where I am right now, so I can be there for the ones that I love. And finally, in terms of wealth, doing big things with the Eno Succession, the search fund, and I'm absolutely loving it. He is giving me opportunities as a part of the internship that no one gets. So now I'm transitioning from being a player in the game, where I actually have to do the day-to-day tasks, and I'll be something like a coach or a manager, to where I manage my team, the other interns, and hopefully get them to where I want them to be. That's been a huge learning experience because it's always awesome, and something that's, I think, different about me, not necessarily different, but unique, is that I love working on projects that I'm super passionate about. If I really care about a project, I will stay up 2 in the morning to do it, even later. But the final thing I want to talk about in this episode is my theme or my word for 20. Now, I never did this in the past, but I got this idea of having a word of the year or a theme of the year, something you live by for that year. And I think it's kind of tough because it's so early on that the year just kind of goes the way it goes. But as of right now, I've decided that my theme for this year is love. And love is such a platonic term, which I think it means it's kind of like a hazy gray area. We don't really know what it is, but the theme is like love myself, love my people, and love my work. And it's kind of the way I've been living my life so far, of health, relationships, and wealth, but keeping that in mind of loving myself so that I can love my people, so that I can love my work. And that's kind of what my theme is going into this year. We'll see how that goes, but it's all just a part of the game. I record these episodes completely free to share success with everyone. So the only thing I ask is that if you learned anything or found something interesting in this episode, just leave a review and share it with a friend. Only takes 5 seconds and it would mean the world. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next episode. Tatok, see you.